Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we are doing scrap wood projects. We're going to be doing Halloween and fall projects. So we are gonna hop right into them. For this project, we are starting out with 3/4 inch plywood. This is scrap that my husband had in his workshop, so I took it for this project and actually for the second project. So I drew these triangles out, I just freehanded them out onto the piece of wood, and I am using the bandsaw to cut out those triangles. For this first project, we're going to make little witch hats, so that is why I am cutting the triangle portion for this part of the project. If you do not have a bandsaw, then a jigsaw will work. You can also do, angle cuts on the miter saw, but I just figured this would be a lot easier with the bandsaw. I'm a little bit more comfortable using this than a jigsaw personally. So I'm cutting out all of these triangles, and then I am going to move on to the next part, which is getting the base portion for the witch hat cut. So I have some more scrap plywood. This is also 3/4 inch plywood. Again, if you don't have plywood, you can use whatever scrap pieces that you do have, 2x4s, 1x2s, anything like that. And you can make this as big or as small as you would like. So I, put the triangles on top of the wood pieces so I could see roughly how large I wanted the base for the hat to be. And then I am cutting them down and then sanding all of the pieces. So for the witch hats, like the pointed top portion, I'm going to sand it. I'm going to be using the sander just to make sure I soften those corners so they're not so harsh. And then I'm also going to do the same thing for the base portion of the hat. Once I have everything sanded, then I'm going to get to painting. I am just using black chalk paint, and I'm going to paint all pieces, all the sides, except for the very bottom of this, triangle portion, because that is what I'm going to put down onto the, like the base part for the hat. But I'm going to paint everything, and then I am actually going to distress all of those pieces with the sander before I do attach everything together. As I was making these witch hats, I thought it would be really cute, instead of doing the rectangle, base here for the hat like I'm doing, I thought it'd be really cool if I had like a larger piece of wood, if I kind of did more of like an oblong oval kind of shape for the base instead, to kind of make it more look like, a hat form versus just, the rectangle and the triangle portion. This is all that I had on hand, but I would kind of like to try it next time, if I have a larger scrap piece of wood, and see if I could make the base just a little bit of a different shape. So all these pieces are sanded, and then I'm going to adhere the top portion, the triangle, to the base with Titebond, quick and thick, and just a little bit of hot glue. I want to make sure that I have enough wood glue for a really good strong hold, but I also want to make sure that I have the hot glue for that quick immediate hold, and also to ensure that the triangle portion won't shift around as the glue is drying. And then once I've let it sit up for, 30 minutes or so, I am going to add some brad nails into the base so that it goes up into the triangle portion of the hat so that it's even stronger and sturdier. To seal this up, I am actually using black wax. I really wanted to use the black wax instead of a, like a polyacrylic or something like that, because I wanted the hat to darken up, have it look really like a rich black color. You can see in one of the hats, where I sanded it down, it has more of that like faded black kind of gray look. So the black wax just really enhances that color and seals everything in. And then for the final touch, I'm adding raffia to all of the witch hats. So I am just taking roughly 3 strips, long strips for each one. I am going to add hot glue to one side of the hat and a little bit on the sides. That way I can make sure that the raffia is secured all the way around. And then I'm gonna flip it in front of me and then add just a little bit of hot glue to start on each side, and then add the raffia, pushed up against there. And then once that is dry enough, I am going to tie a bow in the front with the raffia and then hot glue the bow portion, like where the knot is, and then make it into a bow. This way the raffia is secure and it's not going to come off. I really hope you guys like this first project. For this project, we are doing the same way that we started the first project. I had extra triangles left over, and in this case, we are going to be making some wood candy corns, and these are going to be really cute shelf sitters, or even to fill up a little basket that you have. Add to a tiered tray, that would be really cute as well. So again, I am just using 3/4 inch plywood, and I freehanded the triangles, and I'm using the bandsaw to cut them down. Once they are all cut, again, I'm going to sand them down, and I'm going to soften the edges a little bit, especially the very top. I'm going to make sure I really kind of get that more rounded than pointy before I move on to painting these cute candy corns. So I have these all shaped how I want, and see the top of the candy corn is definitely more rounded. Made sure that all of them were as rounded and soft as possible, kind of like a real candy corn. And then for the paint, I'm just using acrylic paint for the yellow. I actually combined 2 colors to get more of that candy corn look, I guess. I really only had like a super bright one and then kind of more like a mustard one, so I combined them to get the yellow. And then I am using chalk paint for the orange and for the white. Now, the first candy corn I painted, I wanted just to see how it was going to look. And I actually painted the colors in the wrong order. I thought it was white, yellow, orange. So thankfully I looked up a picture of candy corn after I painted the first one and realized that I had painted it wrong. I would have been really sad because I actually made a batch of these. I think I made like 8 of them because, again, these would be really cute in a basket. But I did make them for my booth, and I decided to do like a pair of them instead of individual. So I wanted to make, several of them for my booth. So once they were all painted up and dry, I did sand them all down to distress them, just to have them look a little bit more rustic, especially since they are wood pieces. And then I finished these. I stopped where I was. I thought about it after the fact that I really wanted to add like a cute little, twine or ribbon with a little tag on it, but I ran out of time, and I didn't get that done for this video. So for this video, you will just see them loose like this as shelf sitters, but I really want to go back and for like the pair of them, do a cute little tag with some ribbon. For our final project, we are using these 3 pieces of wood to make a different book stack. So a couple videos ago, I did show you how I made these, book stacks, how I broke them down and got them ready, and that I had several left over so that I could make some for the fall and the Halloween season. And I started out making a really cute, or what I thought was going to be a really cute Halloween book stack. It was not going how I wanted it to go. It was not working. So I did not include that in this week's video, but it will be in next week's video because I still plan on finishing that up. So I will share that in next week's video, which is why this is not fully Halloween. This is Halloween and fall. Okay, sorry, back to this project. So the wood that I am using, they're actually 2x4s that my husband milled down for me so that they are 1 inch thick. I was going to go to the hardware store and just grab 1x4s, but a 1x4 isn't actually 1 inch. It's really 3/4, and I really wanted the height of each book or of each piece slash book to be 1 inch. So he milled that down for me, and I did a faux stain on them using watered down antique wax. I let that fully dry, and then I am doing a dry brush with white chalk paint on top of this. So I really wanted it to be very distressed and farmhouse looking. And so once I got it dry brushed to how I wanted it, I moved on to the next step. I am using the IOD typesetting stamps. I believe that's the one, the typesetting stamp, and I am doing Farm Fresh pumpkins. So I just am using the black permanent ink, and I am going to stamp that each word onto each book stack, and then I'm going to move on to decorating it. So for these book stacks, I do not seal them. These are, very strictly decor. They are not, they're not going to be handled very often. The ink itself is permanent, and, the stain on it is a wax, so it's secure, and the dry brushing of the chalk paint, it just, adds to that distressed look. So I don't seal my book stacks personally. You can seal them if you would like. I just wanted to let you know that I am not sealing this book stack. I went back and forth on how I wanted to decorate this, and that is the beauty of these book stacks. I know I've said this before, and I probably sound like a broken record with when I do book stacks, but I love how different they all can be. Even if they say the same thing, they can all be decorated completely different. So this is where, you can have a lot of fun decorating it. So I'm just using whatever ribbon and greenery I have in my stash. I'm trying to use up as much as possible so I don't spend money on things that I really already have. So I had this leftover orange ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I think it was a Dollar Tree, or maybe it was the craft store. I can't remember now. But I had just enough of it left, so I'm using that for this book stack. And then I know that I grabbed some smaller ribbon with pumpkins on it, and I grabbed that from the craft store, which I am adding to this, and I'm going to tie it all around. And then I'm going to just grab greenery from my stash, like I said, to decorate it, top it off with a little pumpkin, and then this one is done. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video and the projects. Let me know your favorite in the comments. My favorite is the witch hat. I think it turned out so stinking cute, and I'm so glad that I was able to make several of them. I have a couple in my booth. I am going to give some to my friends and my family and keep one for myself. They are great little shelf sitters, so definitely let me know your favorites. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. Next week's video will definitely be more Halloween than fall. I have to finish up a couple of the projects, but it is definitely leaning more towards Halloween. I'm having a lot of fun right now with Halloween decor and crafting instead of fall, so hopefully you are all enjoying that as well. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.